When people hear the word talent, they often imagine something magical, something that descends upon you like a gift from the heavens. Yes, talent can give you a head start, but talent alone has never carried anyone to greatness. What truly transforms an ordinary human being into an extraordinary force is not talent, it is obsession. Obsession is not a hobby. It is not something you do when you feel like it. Obsession is when your entire being, your thoughts, your emotions, your energies, your very breath becomes aligned in one direction. It is no longer you chasing success. It is success being dragged toward you because of the intensity of your pursuit. A talented person may shine for a moment, but if there is no fire within, that shine quickly fades. An obsessed person, even if they begin clumsy, even if they lack natural ability, keeps burning, keeps moving, keeps breaking their own limits until the world cannot ignore them anymore. Look at nature. The river does not have the talent to cut through rock. The rock is far stronger, harder, and more powerful. But the river has obsession. It flows endlessly, day and night, never stopping, never doubting. And over time, even the mighty rock must bow to its persistence. In your life, do not worship talent. Talent is pleasant, but obsession is power. If you become obsessed with your growth, obsessed with learning, obsessed with breaking barriers within yourself, then nothing outside can stop you. Remember, the one who is obsessed does not need motivation. They are consumed by their vision, intoxicated by their purpose. That intensity is what bends reality. So the question is not whether you are talented. The real question is, are you willing to be obsessed? Because obsession beats talent every single time. Obsession aligns your entire being. Talent only gives a head start. Talent is often seen as a blessing, a natural advantage that makes certain tasks or skills come more easily to some than others. But talent, no matter how brilliant, is only a spark. It can shine for a moment, and it may even impress those who see it, but without the fuel of obsession, that spark fades quickly. Obsession is not a casual interest or a passing enthusiasm. It is an unrelenting force that gathers every fragment of who you are and directs it toward one point. When obsession takes hold, there is no part of you left idle. Your mind revolves around your pursuit, even when you are not actively engaged in it. Your emotions bend themselves to feed that fire. Your body learns to endure pain, discomfort, and limitation because there is something larger pulling it forward. Even your energies, the subtle currents that govern how alive and awake you feel, are gathered and poured into that singular direction. Talent may put you ahead in the beginning, but obsession keeps you moving when talent has already grown tired. A talented person might be quick to grasp, quick to execute, quick to impress, but if their interest is scattered, if their commitment is fragile, the brilliance of talent becomes like lightning in the sky, bright but brief. Obsession, on the other hand, is like the steady flame of an oil lamp. It may not appear dramatic at first, but it burns endlessly, consuming whatever it must to keep glowing, and over time its persistence becomes unstoppable. Talent can open a door, but obsession will break down every wall until nothing remains standing in its way. When a person is obsessed, life itself reorganizes around their pursuit. Ordinary boundaries dissolve. What once seemed like sacrifice no longer feels like sacrifice, because the obsessed mind does not calculate loss in the way others do. Sleep becomes secondary. Comfort becomes irrelevant. Time bends, because every moment carries the taste of what you are longing for. Others may see madness, but in truth it is a heightened clarity, a sharpening of inner vision. Obsession focuses all of life's scattered light into a single laser point, and with such intensity, even the hardest obstacles begin to yield. Talent is passive, it waits for recognition. Obsession is active, it does not wait for the world to acknowledge it. It carves its own space, it creates its own opportunities, it refuses to stay silent. A talented person might need the right environment, the right encouragement, the right conditions to thrive, but an obsessed person does not wait for conditions, They bend conditions. Rain or shine, resources or none, support or opposition, they continue. Talent wants comfort. Obsession grows in discomfort. Talent desires ease. Obsession thrives in struggle. To align your entire being with your pursuit is not something that happens accidentally. It requires intensity, and intensity is uncomfortable for most. People with talent may not feel the urgency to go through that discomfort because their natural ability gives them results quickly, but those results become a trap. They start believing the little victories are enough. The obsessed one, even if they begin at the very bottom, does not rest with small wins. They are not satisfied until they have exhausted every possibility within them. That hunger creates a momentum that talent alone can never generate. When obsession aligns the mind, thought itself becomes sharper. Instead of drifting aimlessly, thoughts revolve like planets around the sun of your pursuit. Ideas come not sporadically, but continuously, because the mind is no longer cluttered with distractions. When obsession aligns the heart, emotions are no longer wasted on trivial things. Joy, pain, fear, love, all are gathered like tributaries feeding a single river. When obsession aligns the body, even fatigue becomes fuel. The body adapts, learns to stretch, learns to bend, learns to endure in ways talent would never demand. And when obsession aligns your very energies, your presence itself becomes magnetic. People sense something fierce, something unshakable, something alive that cannot be ignored. Talent without obsession is like a bow without an arrow. It looks impressive, but it has no impact. Obsession without talent may start clumsy, awkward, and slow, but it sharpens itself daily. Every failure becomes a stepping stone. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes a challenge to push harder. Over time, obsession not only equals talent but surpasses it, because obsession never stops sharpening, never stops growing. When your being is aligned, the division within you disappears. Normally, one part of you wants something while another part resists. One part dreams, another part doubts. One part pushes forward, another pulls back. This inner division wastes energy and weakens resolve. But obsession is like a gravitational pull that brings all the parts of you together. Your thoughts, emotions, body, and energy stop arguing with each other. They all move in one direction. When such alignment happens, what you can achieve is no longer limited by natural gifts, because the entirety of your existence is pushing as one. In truth, talent is accidental. It is given, not chosen. Obsession is deliberate. It is cultivated, not handed down. Talent may put the spotlight on you for a while, but obsession ensures that the light never fades. Talent impresses the crowd, but obsession transforms the individual. And once transformation has happened within, the world cannot help but take notice, because such alignment radiates power in every step, every action, every word. Persistence fueled by obsession outlasts natural ability. Natural ability is like a shortcut, a small advantage that allows someone to run ahead in the early stages of the journey. It is quick, it is smooth, and it looks effortless to the outside world. But shortcuts never last long, because the true test of any journey is not how fast you start, but how long you can keep moving when the path becomes steep, rough, and endless. Persistence is the bridge between where you are and where you wish to be, and when that persistence is fueled by obsession, it becomes an unshakable force that does not collapse under pressure. Natural ability often creates comfort, and comfort is the enemy of growth. A person who finds things easy rarely develops the strength of endurance, because they have never needed it. Their progress feels natural until they encounter a challenge that talent alone cannot solve. At that moment, their growth halts because they do not have the habit of persistence. The obsessed one, however, has been persistent from the very beginning. They have stumbled, they have fallen, they have failed in ways that talent never had to experience, but each fall has strengthened their will. They know how to keep going not because it was easy, but because it was never easy. That persistence becomes part of their very nature, and when the road gets difficult, they do not collapse, they thrive. Natural ability may give someone skill, but persistence sharpens that skill until it becomes mastery. Talent is like raw stone. It has potential beauty, but is still unshaped. Persistence is the sculptor's chisel, cutting, carving, polishing day after day until the raw stone reveals its true form. Without persistence, talent remains unformed, like a treasure buried in the ground. Obsession, however, will dig and dig and dig without stopping until that treasure is unearthed. The talented one may look brilliant for a moment, but the obsessed one will look relentless for a lifetime. Persistence has a rhythm to it, like the beat of a drum that never misses a moment. It is steady, it is reliable, it is patient. Obsession adds fire to that rhythm, ensuring that persistence does not become dull or mechanical. When persistence is mechanical, it may eventually wear down. But when persistence is fueled by obsession, it carries an intensity that renews itself daily. Each failure becomes motivation, each setback becomes a challenge, each obstacle becomes fuel. Natural ability does not create this fire, because ability does not require struggle. Obsession creates it, because obsession is born in longing, in hunger, in the refusal to settle for less than what you seek. Those with natural ability often stop when praise arrives. They are celebrated early, and applause becomes their comfort zone, but applause fades. The obsessed one does not stop for applause. They may receive none at all, and yet they keep going. They are not fueled by recognition. They are fueled by the fire within. This is why persistence driven by obsession always outlasts talent. It does not depend on circumstances, on support, on validation. It depends only on the inner fire that does not go out. The beauty of persistence is that it transforms weakness into strength. A person who may begin as clumsy, slow, or unskilled can, through relentless effort, reach heights that even talent cannot imagine. Each day of persistence builds another layer of ability, another level of refinement. Obsession ensures that this process does not feel like a burden, but like a necessity. For the obsessed, persistence is not a choice they make each day. It is simply who they are. They do not ask, "Should I continue?" They only ask, "How much further can I go?" That inner dialogue makes persistence limitless. Think of water falling drop by drop upon a stone. One drop does nothing. 10 drops do nothing. But 10,000 drops, 100,000 drops, eventually carve a hollow into the hardest surface. That is persistence. Now imagine those drops falling not by accident, but by obsession. Falling with such focus and constancy that no stone, no wall, no barrier can resist. Natural ability is like a hammer striking the stone once. It may leave a mark, but then it is gone. Persistence fueled by obsession is the water that never stops, and in the end, even the hardest resistance must yield. The difference between natural ability and persistence is also the difference between speed and depth. Ability gives speed. It allows you to move quickly at first, but persistence gives depth, and depth is what creates unshakable strength. Depth is born only when you keep going long after talent has given up. Depth is what allows you to endure storms, to face failures, to rebuild when everything falls apart. Depth cannot be borrowed, cannot be given, cannot be inherited. It is earned only through persistence. An obsession ensures that you will never stop digging until that depth becomes part of your being. Talent is admired, but persistence is respected. Admiration comes easily and fades quickly. Respect is built over time through the unshakable demonstration of endurance. A naturally talented person may be admired early, but an obsessed, persistent person will command respect long after talent has been forgotten. This is because persistence is not a moment, it is a lifetime. It does not shine in bursts, it glows steadily, illuminating everything it touches until its power is undeniable. Persistence fueled by obsession is not glamorous. It is not always visible to others. It often happens in silence, in solitude, in the unseen hours when no one is watching. Natural ability may dazzle under the lights, but persistence builds in the shadows. And when the moment comes, when both are tested under real pressure, natural ability often breaks, but persistence has already been tempered like steel. It does not shatter, it does not bend, it only grows stronger. Obsession turns vision into reality. Talent without intensity fades. Vision is something every human being is capable of holding, but not everyone has the fire to breathe life into it. A vision is not just a dream. It is a seed of possibility, something that could shape the direction of your life and perhaps the world around you. But a seed without water, without light, without care, will never grow. Talent may recognize the seed, may even place it in fertile soil, but talent alone does not water it. Obsession is the rain, the sunlight, the unceasing attention that nurtures vision until it rises out of the ground and becomes real. Talent can give you the ability to imagine possibilities, but imagination by itself is fragile. Without intensity, it remains nothing more than a thought. People with natural talent often live in ideas, speaking about what could be, but rarely carrying it through the storm of discipline and sacrifice needed to bring it alive. They may shine for a while, dazzling others with their brilliance, but brilliance that does not manifest in action eventually fades away like smoke in the air. Obsession ensures that vision is not just spoken, but lived. It refuses to let the idea remain an idea. It pushes the dreamer to act, to build, to shape, to create, to fail and rebuild, until the vision stands in the open for all to see. Obsession transforms the abstract into the tangible because it does not let go. It does not allow vision to drift into the background. It forces the mind to return to it again and again, sharpening it, polishing it, strengthening it. Every choice becomes colored by that vision, every step aligned toward it. Obsession turns vision into reality because it consumes the person carrying it. They no longer live with the vision as something separate from themselves. They live as if they are the vision itself. Such identification creates intensity that talent alone cannot match. Talent without intensity is like a flame without fuel. It may burn brightly for a moment, but soon the air grows still and the light dies out. Intensity is the fuel, and obsession is the unending source of that fuel. Obsession keeps the fire burning even when winds of failure, doubt, and resistance try to extinguish it. A vision carried only by talent flickers under pressure, but a vision carried by obsession burns brighter with every challenge, because every obstacle only adds more firewood to the flame. To turn vision into reality requires a kind of madness, a willingness to give more than is reasonable, to persist when the world says stop, to try when logic says it is impossible. Obsession provides this madness. It does not weigh cost and benefit the way talent does. Talent is logical, careful, and often cautious because it knows its own worth. Obsession is reckless in its commitment. It does not ask whether it is too much. It only asks how it can move closer to the vision. That recklessness, when directed with clarity, is not weakness. It is the very power that bends circumstances to align with one's pursuit. Reality does not easily yield to imagination. It demands effort, it resists change, it tests the one who seeks to alter it. Talent often breaks at this resistance because it is used to ease, but obsession welcomes the resistance because obsession is fed by struggle. Struggle gives it purpose, gives it intensity, gives it meaning. Where talent grows weary, obsession grows sharper. Where talent slows down, obsession accelerates. This is why vision in the hands of talent may fade, but vision in the hands of obsession becomes destiny. When obsession takes hold of a vision, the person no longer sees the gap between what is and what could be. They live as if the future has already arrived. Their actions, their thoughts, their energy all operate from that place of inevitability. This is not delusion. It is intensity. It is the refusal to allow doubt to interrupt the flow of creation. Talent without intensity hesitates, waits for perfect conditions, seeks assurance before acting. Obsession acts, and through action creates the assurance. It does not wait for certainty. It forces certainty into existence by refusing to stop. A vision carried by obsession reshapes the person carrying it. They develop skills they did not have. They discover strength they did not know existed. They unlock potential that talent never revealed. The pursuit itself becomes transformative because obsession pushes them to grow beyond what they thought possible. Talent without intensity never demands this growth. It is satisfied with what is easy, comfortable, and natural. But vision cannot be realized by staying comfortable. It demands everything, and obsession is the only force strong enough to give everything without hesitation. Talent may create admiration, but obsession creates reality. Talent can entertain the idea of possibility, but obsession embodies it. Talent can make promises, but obsession delivers them. Vision is not fulfilled by those who dream lightly, but by those who cannot sleep without working on it, those who wake each day with fire in their chest, those who would rather break themselves than betray what they see within. Obsession alone carries vision across the bridge from the unseen to the seen. Talent without such intensity eventually fades into memory, but obsession leaves its mark upon the world.